a lot.
Megan follows in a moment from Anne of Green Gables. How does it feel seeing something like that with a moment removed out of context the way that is for you?
It's kind of nice, actually. I do feel very removed from it. I feel very much like that's not me. Like I can watch it as if that's Anne and Diana, and I feel like I'm watching a part of the story and not having been associated with it.
Megan, you have to resolve something for us publicly. Okay. As a mature, sophisticated, worldly woman of 19,
yeah.
sitting there as you are, I would like to know the real sequence of that first audition for Anne of Green Gables, where you were 15 years old. You walked in. It didn't happen. A year of your life went by.
Yeah.
And it began again. What happened the first time you walked into that audition as one of many young women hoping to be Anne of Green Gables?
It was a strange audition because I was working on Hockey Night at the time, and I was very tired and came into audition. And to be honest, didn't really know a lot about Anne, hadn't read the books, had read the first draft of the screenplay, which was 3 hours as opposed to 4 hours. And it was very strange. We were in a video store, and it was kind of not feeling like an audition. I mean, there wasn't other people around, really, and I was tired. So I did it, and yeah, it didn't happen. And I guess I was disappointed, but I felt kind of removed from the situation, and I could already feel the pressure of they wanted something, what was it, not knowing what it was that they wanted.
Were you really made to feel at the age of 15 that you were too old and too fat to be Anne of Green Gables, or is this all after the fact?
No, I think they were worried I was too old because the parts I'd played before had been very much introverts and sort of very quiet, and that kind of bubbling joy or youthfulness that the young Anne had, they didn't see and hadn't seen in my work.
Now, is it fair to say, to follow up and say that a year later, during the year, by the way, in which you did some wonderful work, that you went back a second time with a note you had written to yourself, convincing yourself that you were Anne, you were 12, you were going to be this person?
Yes, I did that.
Where did you get that from? How did you know to do that?
I guess that year, well, that year had been, had been a strange year because that thing had happened with not getting the part, or a year had gone by. And I guess when it came up the second time, I thought, this is very rare, that something comes up again that you wanted and it didn't work out. So the commitment better be really strong this time, and I better put in the work that I need if I want to get this. I had since read the book, and I kept thinking, and I had been up for other things, and nothing I had gone up for had come anywhere near the possibilities that lay in that character. And I kept thinking, I've got to do this. This would be so wonderful for me to do. And I think it was that determination. And having to fight for something, that really, I think, gave me that extra drive, the determination.
Where was your family? Knowing the closeness of your family, being aware of your mother, Dawn Greenhall, your father, Ted Follows, your two sisters, your brother, where was the family in dealing with, she's going back a year later to try again, with all they knew about this business?
I think my mom recognized that there was a good chance I could get this. And I did have someone who was pulling for me to do this part. I had people who believed very much that I could do it. And Nada Harcourt at the CBC, in charge of the children's programming. And she had called, because I was in the process of changing agents and going just with a strictly U.S. agent, and I was getting lost. Communications weren't coming very clear, and when we found out this information and talked to this woman in person, and she said, I really believe you have a good chance. Would you please come back and do it again, and audition again? And my mother really recognized that. I think she knew that perhaps it's hard with auditions. You can be lazy sometimes. You're afraid if you put your all into it and you don't get it, the rejection can be even worse, because maybe sometimes if you don't really commit to an audition, you can always say, well, I didn't really try, so they didn't really reject me. You know, that kind of thinking. And I think she recognized that I had to do some work, and that she was very supportive. She saw it as a great chance to just fight for it, and she believed in me that I could do it.
I sit in front of you now as an award-winning actress. I mean, Anne of Green Gables, along with its 10 Gemini Awards, you possess the one as Best Actress. But I wonder if you have a clear memory of the Bell Canada commercial you did it. You've been a working actor from the age of 9.
Yeah.
Do you remember the commercial?
I do indeed. I do indeed.
Did you get it on first reading?
I think I might have. Well, all we had to do was make signs out of the back of the bus, like kind of, you know, kind of things, and I did something like this, and they go, cut, you can't do that, you know, keep it up here. And that was, yeah, it was funny. I remember my dad took me down to them. It was my first job. It was, yeah, it felt very funny.
Let us take a break, and we'll come back with Anne of Green Gables, the sequel, and your new film, Stacking.
Okay.
One of your new films, Stacking.
Yeah, right.
Be right back.
All right. Have the gap blocked. Dolly. Good girl. Shoo. Come on. Right. Now. Oh, don't even think about Rachel's cabbages.
Anne's first facial.
Yeah, right. Beginnings of the facial.
Did you just say that the actress with you didn't realize you were going to pull her down with you?
No. I just decided that her dress was already mucked up enough, and how great to get a white dress covered in mud.
You know, it's extraordinary to sit with you and remember the impact you had the evening of the Gemini Awards when your name was announced and you got up and spoke in the loving and generous way you did about all the principals responsible for the worldwide success of Anne of Green Gables. And then you got to your mother. And it's so extraordinary to see a young actress stand up in public and say, thank you, Mother.
Yeah.
That your mother happens to be the distinguished actress she is, Dawn Greenhall. Am I pronouncing her name correctly? How do you say it at home?
Oh, it only say Dawn Greenhalgh.
You do?
But she changed it, especially when she was in the States, because it was just, people just couldn't. We got Dawn Greenhog, Dawn Greenhalgh, we just Hall. Because it's Halsh, or Helsh, nobody really knows.
I say that because, you know, when everyone hears a story, you hear variations on the pronunciation of your mother's name. And I never want to say to people in New York or Los Angeles, no, 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 no. Because I thought, well, who knows?
Who knows? That's right. She goes for Hall or Helsh. If you hit anywhere, somewhere close to those two, we'll accept that.
I bring this up because you are going to have the experience of being on a stage with your mother and your sister in an extraordinary play by Paul Zindel called The Effect of Gamma Rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds, directed by Peter Moss. And I had the privilege, years ago, of seeing your mother do that play, remembering how extraordinary she was in it, and then thinking of what that play is about.
Yeah.
And to imagine, this is, come on, Mika, this is bigger than the whole family doing a 3-part Littlest Hobo.
Oh, that's for sure.
Never mind the earthquake.
And the earthquake was dramatic, but...
Whose idea was it to bring the family together for Marigolds?
I think it was something that came between Peter and my mother, because Peter Moss approached my mother first and wanted my mother to do the part, and then she had mentioned that I am interested in doing some theater, and then he thought, oh, what a wonderful idea to bring the three. He has worked with my mother and he's worked with my sister before. I'm the only one that he hasn't worked with. So it was kind of, my mother brought the idea forward, but he thought that was a great opportunity to put the three of us together.
Was your move to Los Angeles for high school a career move? Was it important at that time that you be in the city of Los Angeles?
Yes, I think it was very important.
What happens to the girl from Toronto who's had the degree of success you've had. And of course, there are TV series and TV specials that I haven't even mentioned you've done. But you arrive in Los Angeles, you are this entity from Canada with a great deal of success, and you're the new kid in Santa Monica at high school. Did they open arms and embrace you and say, welcome, another Canadian?
Actually, I think I'm kind of mysterious to them. They didn't really know who I was. The high school that I went to, in terms of that, the kids that I was mostly associating with during the day were not in the business, were not performers. And I think I was sort of a strange thing to them. I was definitely not Californian. And, but they were very, I think, intrigued by that. And my reputation in the business has been, again, kind of mysterious, because the people know I have achieved a lot of success, but most of the acclaim, because sometimes they don't really recognize the Canadian success in the States. Unfortunately, you can do a lot of really good work here, and it doesn't always add up to a lot there.
But they certainly know Anna Green Gables.
But they certainly know Anna Green Gables, I guess, and thank goodness for PBS being involved, because it brought that to an American audience, and it meant a lot.
And Norman Lear's production company certainly found out about you fast, didn't they?
Yes. Yes, that's true. That's true. They saw me up here. I auditioned for Square Pegs. That didn't work out, and they asked me to audition for the Facts of Life.
Here you are, you're getting ready to do a new version of Inherit the Wind with Kirk Douglas and Jason Robards. You have just recently been in Yugoslavia with Timothy Hutton and William Hurt. You have a new motion picture called Stacking with Christine Lottie. What a year.
It was a great year.
What, have you been living at airports?
Yes.
You probably wake up in the morning and say, the first thing I need is my passport.
Well, what was very frightening was I woke up, I'd come back from Yugoslavia, and I literally had gone right from Stacking I did all the wardrobe for Anne in a week, flew to Yugoslavia, worked 3.5 weeks, flew back on September the 4th, September the 5th, flew to PEI to do second unit photography on the island for 4 days. That night flew back to Toronto, and that next morning started principal photography for Anne. And I woke up one morning, and I don't remember which hotel I was in, but I took a second, and I could not have told you if I was in Yugoslavia, if I was in Billings, Montana, or if I was in Toronto, and I had to go. Oh, those are my drapes. I'm in my room, right, okay. So, yeah, that was a hectic year.
On that, we will take a break, let you rest, and come back with your new movie.
Getting exhausted thinking about it.
Be right back.
Everything is going to be fine. You'll see.
Megan follows with Christine Lottie in a moment from Stacking. Who is Anna Mae Morgan, Megan?
Anna Mae Morgan is a 14-year-old Montanan girl who's been raised in the country, but also in a small town when they lost their property. And just before this film begins, they have recently just gotten back on their land, and it looks like they're going to lose it all over again. And she is on the brink of childhood behind her and womanhood ahead of her, but also in a time where women were very much figures. Her mother sort of represents, I think, a Barbie doll to her in a sense. And she's caught between really wanting to be independent and have a strong sense of herself and not really getting any help from either of her parents, who are both not really there for her. One's in the hospital, injured, and the other one's just finding out about herself. So I liked her. I liked her a lot. She's a very quiet person. But also, it was also lots of stuff going on for her in her head, but not a very verbal person, couldn't express herself. Just wanted to do certain things. Expressed herself in her actions, not in her verbal communication.
Well, we wait for you to do Inherit the Wind with Kirk Douglas and Jason Robards, and we wait for your new film Destiny with William Hurt and Timothy Hutton. We wait for the stage production of Man on the Moon Marigolds. I'm wondering if someone isn't out there writing a script for you and Kathleen Turner to play mother and daughter.
That would be
Anyone
great.
told you this before?
I have been told.
It'd be very interesting to have a drama with the two of you as mother and daughter on film. Now, in the middle of all of this, why are you so determined to move to New York City? What's there for you?
A change, different kind of energy. LA was wonderful when I was in school, and it's still, I love Los Angeles, but I want something a little more, I don't like driving, for one thing. I guess I think
then you get out of Los Angeles, Megan.
I want to study. I want, I can get kind of lazy in LA. It's so beautiful and so easy to, you know, I need a little, like, work. I need to have a little more, some kind of city that forces me to work and
You're
train.
a successful woman. Is your money being invested? Are you living on an allowance?
Our money, where are all of our money's going nowadays?
I mean, what's left over?
What's left of our money, I don't know.
After you support the nation.
Yes, you're right. My money is, I don't have a whole lot of money, but my money is supporting me, and it's kind of something to fall back on. I'm not a big extravagant person. I think probably I'll never really fit into LA because I don't really believe in cars that much. A car doesn't mean a whole lot to me. And I drive a second-hand Datsun around that needs a good paint job. But I think I'd like to make lots of money. Yeah.
Well, I think you should. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing you on stage in the effect of gamma rays on Man in the Moon Marigold and all this film work.
Thank you very much.
Including stacking.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Pleasure being with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
She's trapped in a terrifying world. Jane Seymour stars in part 1 of Jamaica Inn. Tonight at 8 on Great Movies. There's Hot Rock and Toronto Rocks next on City.